Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spirit Bubble.
Hello, hello.
Yes, with Kara.
And Alma.
Yes, it's so nice to be back. It's just being on vacation here has just been giving me some time to try to just settle down and relax a little bit, and it's just been going with the flow.
That's always a good way to do things, flowing with the moments as they come, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I know that last time we had gone on kind of a what was it that we had discussed last time?
Declare gifts.
Yes, the gifts. I know another topic that kind of relates to this, and you'll understand in another video how it can correlate. But another one of the things that we wanted to talk about that a lot of people talk about and yearn to discover is spirit guides.
Oh, yes, that is definitely a topic that's very interesting.
Yes. See, the thing is, spirit guides can come in all kind of forms. I know I've had some people who have communication to, or what they call working with different deities. Some people will say that they're working, that they feel like it's their higher self that's their spirit guide. And then
Okay.
some people even call them by angels too, you know?
All right. So there's many different forms that they
Yeah.
can come in.
Guardians, yeah. Guardian angels, angels, spirit guides, deities, your higher self. There's a lot of forms that our guides can come in, and the ones that you communicate with are essentially going to be the ones that vibe most with what you need, you know?
Right, right. Well, how does that communication come? How do you recognize it?
I think it's kind of a knowing. For some people, it's just a knowing because, like, they've sometimes done research. Felt like, like a name just pops into your head. You know,
Okay.
like just a
Yeah.
name or a separate being. It just feels like a separate being pops into your head, and you're getting these little clues in life that just leading you to figuring it out because most of the time they're not just going to come out and say, hey, my name's blah 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 and I'm here to help you in your head, and just you just automatically know. You're not going to just you know
Right. It's never that easy, is it?
Right, at least most of the time. I guess some people could say that they would have that experience if they were the kind of person who like didn't pay attention to the clues, but it became necessary for that involvement, and then maybe they might. But most of the time you see it through clues in your life. And it's like a puzzle that you have to put together. Like you're already going to know that you feel like you have someone trying to communicate with you. But it's not going to be obvious right away, and it's going to be something that they're going to want you to try to piece together first before they have to just come out and say, hey, this is who I am.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like a journey you go on to figure out who you're communicating with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, putting the puzzle together. If you can't put it together on your own, then they may, or if they need to, like, just really jump in, then they may just come out and just make themselves noticeable.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you mind explaining how your spirit guides manifest?
Yeah. Okay, so remember how I said that I had social anxiety, right? And it was like almost near crippling me. I mean, I'd already had clues towards uh like the Egyptian and the era and stuff before. I'd already had some of those clues early. But when my anxiety had manifested so bad that like I couldn't communicate with more than two people in front of me, um, this one is very interesting. Uh, I actually found out through possession.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's an interesting one.
yeah. It's very It was really surreal because I found out through possession, because pretty much it's like she had just kind of taken control while I was in the middle of communication with the person who was teaching me at the time and guiding me along. And she just took the reins, and like she just straight up sent a message to my own mentor saying, hey, she blah blah blah. And like the fact that I could tell, like, I was typing on my phone, but I knew that wasn't me typing. I was in the back seat watching this happen.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
I
was
mean,
literally,
that would
yes.
be such a crazy experience to have, like to backseat drive your own experience.
I was literally in the back seat, and then like she had started typing in these messages to the person that was mentoring me at the time, talking about, oh, she has anxiety and blah blah blah, and this is why she's afraid to tell you, blah blah. And I'm in the back of my head, not in control, and I'm like, no, stop, don't send, stop, no, please don't send that. And she hit send, and I'm over here like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
you
wow,
got to
what
be
has
kidding
happened?
me. Oh, you got to be kidding me. And then she took my journal that I had and she started writing a message in the journal for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think she said, I'm an angel of truth.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can't remember what else, but I know one of them was like, I'm the angel of truth or something like that. But I had to use that and the journey that I was on and the path that I was on, to figure out, the whole the route of pantheon that it was going. I had
Right.
those puzzle pieces given to me just a little bit early, and then when she did that, it's just like, dang.
Wow, that's a big, like, that's a big step push forward, you know?
Hmm. Oh yeah. And then see, the thing is, I have a light one and I have a dark one. That's the light one that did that. The dark one, I was in a spiritual battle, and she just dropped me into the middle of it, in where this other one was present, and she gave this this sarcastic. She was like, "Oops." Knowing the effects that this could have, being in the presence of an opposing dark presence. And I
Right.
was just like, what, how could you, do you even care about what and she's just like, oopsie daisy.
Knowing it's exactly what you needed.
Yeah, it was very, I experienced it through very surreal experiences, and just like almost semi direct, but with some clues given to me ahead of time.
Wow, that that is an intense experience, it sounds like.
Yeah, let me
But
tell you,
it's really cool that it was so hands-on and like direct that you like you knew what was going on, that you got
mm-hmm,
those kind of real clues to put together.
mm-hmm, oh yeah. And that's the reason why I say I feel like a lot of my stuff was very sped taught, you know?
Hmm.
Is because of the fact that I was pushed through those surreal experiences.
Now, do you think there was a reason for the speed? Do you think you were resisting learning and then you were pushed through it to get you there? Or do you think this was just your personal journey to go super fast through it and get that experience hands on real fast?
I it might have been partially with a fascination, because the whole magical aspect of it all, the whole supernatural aspect was very fascinating, and like I recept very well to those visual and experience type of things. But I've always have thought that, because remember I told you that I have my own little student too. I've always kind of thought that because of the fact that suddenly now I've manifested a student in my life, they were just like, we gotta get this ball rolling. We got it. You got a lot to learn here. Okay, so let's come on, let's stack them on.
I like that. So you got your student, so then it was time to step you up to teacher level. So now you
Mm-hmm.
had to raise up and get the enlightenment that you needed to be there for your student.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
And I'm already so receptive that like the fact of like communicating with them, talking with them, it comes so easy to me because I have so much focus on keeping that strong bond because it's like building a friendship, right? You you suddenly get these clues or you get this name dropped or you get this curiosity about um some angel or some deity or some pantheon or whatever, and it can't leave your mind, right? So you get this curiosity about it. Well, it's basically you treat that kind of a relationship with a guide just like you would with any other friend.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally hold my relationship to the divine. Like I don't have a spirit guide that I know of yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I hold a relationship to the divine, so I can reconcile and parallel with you on that.
Yeah.
And it's important when you're channeling that information from the divine or from your guides to have that relationship and nurture it. Because otherwise, if you don't trust in that relationship, what are you
Yeah.
doing with yourself?
Yeah, it's like nurturing the friendship and a relationship with somebody else, but you just can't see them. However, you know in your soul that they exist.
That's a really neat knowing to have. That's what I am fascinated by. Like I would like to have that kind of knowing. Like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you do have some guides by your side, but they know you don't need any names. You know?
Oh, that very well may be it because it I feel blessed with divine information that at the right moment I feel I know what I need to know and it it comes naturally to me, but I've never sought out
Mm,
a pantheon or a divine being or
yeah,
anything like that specifically to channel that energy from, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and they may know that you didn't really necessarily need or seek that communication, but as long as you're fulfilling what they are trying to teach, they can teach you inadvertently through your actions and through your thoughts rather than through a direct communication.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Right. So I'm still learning all I need to. I just don't have a name that I'm learning it
Right.
from.
Right. You're just not in like a direct knowing of that communication. Maybe it's all because I know you're a whole individual. You perceive yourself in the whole. So maybe it's that you're at a point where really you don't need that to feel whole, but
Right.
the guidance is there paving the way for you without you realizing it.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that. That sense of wholeness comes from somewhere. And so
Mm-hmm.
from the divine, I believe it's a gift. And I believe that there's a lot that I may not understand of that wholeness. And so I
Yeah.
open my mind to the possibility that there's more than I realize.
Yeah. And there's no telling why or the whats or the whys of the reasoning for the reason why mine was revealed to me. And who knows, maybe there's more of them behind that realize that's all the communication I need. We may have tons of angels and guides behind our back and not even realize how many there are in our support, you know?
Right? Absolutely. It could be infinite behind us, infinity filling up
Mm-hmm.
our wholeness, and we just can't comprehend it because we're singular in the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting to consider, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I almost feel like I feel like there's a better way to describe this, but like there's levels of them, like some of them may not even have a name that you will ever recognize, that you will never find in a book, that you will never find in an online article. Like they may come to you and say, "Hey, my name is Azareth," and then like you look up Angel Azareth, and you never find anything, but you know that they exist. A lesser known, and some of them are going to be a greater known, where you can find loads of information and history and.
Makes sense because,
Mm,
like, to me, the way belief works is like we come together individually and build that belief up. So there are some pantheons that are created by great belief. So there are lots of individuals that believe in that. And then that's that's where that focus comes from. So
mm,
that's where we might tap into something that many people believe in, or we might tap into something that only an individual believes in. And it's still all connected to the divine, and it's still all the
oh
information
yeah.
that we need. So it's interesting. I love talking about
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah, it's a whole connection, regardless of who it is, what name you may have in your head, whether it's like just a simple angel, a simple spirit, or whether even too another possibility is deceased family members.
Ancestors, right?
Yes, ancestors. Yes, I was trying to think of the word and I couldn't think of it. Yeah, that's another
Yes.
possibility for your guides too, or your ancestors that have passed.
Yes, I've thought about that before, about like a spiritual inheritance, like those that came before you, that watch over you in as you go through your moments, your ancestors that
Mm-hmm.
want to see you carry forward the family heritage and move forward. Like definitely, I think
Yeah.
that exists, in humanity, but also in metaphysicality. So like there's human ancestry, but then there's spiritual ancestry as well. So I think it all kind of
Oh, yeah.
comes together to like create that knowledge bank that we can tap into.
Yeah. It's such a deep web. It is such a deep web of communications, relationships, and like you said, all of it coming back to the divine.
Mhm.
Like
Absolutely.
just because I know mine by name, or at least two, I know two of them. There might be more that I have no idea.
Mhm.
Um, just because I know two of them by name, it doesn't mean that they're not a connection to the divine, and it's the divine sending them, giving me the experience I need to feel validated.
Right, right.
So, I mean, it's really it's limitless the possibilities. So,
I think so too. Limitless is a good word for it. It's infinite possibility and so many ways to describe it, which gives us infinite possibility to experience, which is what the wonder of this is all about.
yeah, I sure never thought that I would be looking in a mirror feeling like I'm not myself. Ah.
Oh, I know. Isn't that a crazy feeling?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just literally like you're outside your body, watching your body, but you're not the one doing it.
Right?
It
That
was
is a,
very.
I've had a similar experience, I feel, and it's
Oh,
very awkward.
yeah.
It's it's a good word, awkward. Like it's just seeing yourself from another perspective and like not being fully in the body, but witnessing the body. It's a very awkward experience.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'd love to hear about it sometime.
Yes, I'll have to share that with you for sure.
Yes, definitely remind me. We'll definitely talk about that. I'd love to hear yours as well. So it's so surreal. It's awkward. It's like You want to ask, is this real?
Absolutely. You begin to question, like, am I really here? Am I doing like what's going on?
But yeah, that's a little bit about guides. Just kind of the basics there about the range of possibility. You guys, it could be your ancestor, it could be your higher self communicating to you, it could be pantheons and deities from other I want to say other histories. I'm trying to think of the right word. It it
Um,
could be it could be angels, you know?
Spirit animals or
Maybe. Absolutely. It could be spirit animals. It could be your dog that died when you were 10 years old. You know?
absolutely. It's limitless. It could be anything because how you connect to the divine is kind of personal. And that's for you to dive into and find out how your relationship to the divine manifests. And that's
Right.
a fun journey to take, that's for sure.
And just because you don't have a personal relationship with any of them, it doesn't mean you don't have any behind you nudging you on.
Very true. That's a good point.
So it's just a little tidbit about it. Of course, we can go a little bit more about it in another video, probably definitely building the relationship. That's definitely a whole nother topic that we can definitely hit on next time too. So
Another time for another
yes.
episode.
Oh, absolutely, because otherwise we will be going on for another hour.
That's for sure. This could just go on for hours.
Oh my word. But guys, if you have an experience of communicating with one of them, or if you know who they are and you just want to brag and share, please feel free to drop a comment. I would love to hear your stories and who you work with and what you've learned from them, what you gained. Please share your experiences. We would love to hear it.
Absolutely. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and join us next time.
Yes. Y'all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on the Spirit Bubble.
Yay!
All right.
Bye.